go. I'm Nikki and I'm a freshman.
And I'm Teddy and I'm a sophomore. So I guess we'll start with the fact that I found out about OCF before I even decided that I was going to come to school here, I guess, which is kind of a funny thing. So I don't want to say that it was necessarily something that played a super big role in my decision to come here, but it was definitely in the back of my mind the whole time. And I know that when I did decide to come here, I was really excited to come to OCF and find out what it was all about. And I guess the first real experience I had with OCF, I remember this pretty vividly, was on quad day. I went looking specifically for the table, and I just remember the excitement of everyone, meeting everyone that was there, and it was kind of like a really positive first experience. And then I got to go to the barbecue and meet even more people, and it just all kind of started there. And I remember telling Nikki about that kind of right after it happened, and it got her excited too, because she knew that it was kind of a unique thing to be able to be with people that share our faith, you know, and kind of come from the same background. And, you know, as the year progressed, I got to know everyone a lot better, and I would tell Nikki stories of funny things that would happen, and, you know, the things that we would learn with Father Michael and the different discussions that people would do. And she was always impressed that in a place like this with 40,000 students, you know, we could find a group and all come together to talk about such important things that kind of lie at the center of our lives and kind of hold us all together, being that is our faith. And when she finally decided to come here, she was probably 10 times more excited than I was because of all the things that I had told her. So I guess she can kind of talk about that a little bit. But
So yeah, I mean, a minor detail you left out is that I am Teddy's younger sister, so he's a year ahead of me. I'm a freshman. And from the very get-go, I would hear stories about everyone in OCF, and I started to get pretty excited about everyone there. So as the time came closer, as my senior year in high school came to a close, I was starting to consider colleges more seriously. And as for Teddy, that it wasn't as big of a deciding factor, I think, like you said, OCF. Mm-hmm. From the stories that Teddy had said, I knew that coming from St. Demetrius in Chicago, where we had an awesome Goya, I was like, I think it's really important to have a group equally as good just in the next level of college. And OCF sounded exactly like that from the way Teddy described it. And I know that college isn't exactly the easiest experience for a lot of people. There's a lot of new things that get introduced, and it's easy to lose your footing. So to have such a stable group and fun times and serious times that Teddy had told me, I knew that this was probably one of the greatest things I could get out of college. And a year later now, as freshman comes to a close, I could definitely say that I would not change it for the world. And for anyone that's looking, you have to have a staple group that you can count on and rely on. And that's what OCF has been. And being able to have my older brother here is huge, because we get to have the same friends, and, you know, I turn to him for a lot of stuff, and I like the idea of having family down here, but the reality is I have my big brother down here, and everybody else here has become family too, which is amazing.
That's awesome, guys.